I have a serious question. Now, the front room, was this supposed to be a comedy or a horror? Because when I tell you I was laughing the entire movie up until she showed that she killed the lady herself. Maybe I laughed even more a little bit after that. I don't know. But there was nothing scary. Like, it was just this crazy old lady who was getting off basically on torturing her stepson and his wife and faking. I don't know if she was faking incontinence or if she really did have a loose bladder, loose bowels. But, her wrapping her arms around her stepson while he carried her, and then her turning around and laughing at Belinda. Like, to me, this was just a quirky, weird comedy. There wasn't anything, like, I mean, I was laughing at like the parts where she fell down flat on the floor and I knocked her head on. I mean, that was funny to me. Like, I was just, I'm sorry. First of all, Belinda should have got the hell on up out of there when they went into that wherever they were, church, wherever. I think it was at his father's funeral. And she got people praying over her. She got a veil on and she like this. I would have been like, look, I know I'm pregnant, but we're going to have to separate for a little while because... And then as soon as she found out that she was going to stay with them, first of all, listen, I used to do home health care. Before that, I worked with people that had mental and physical disabilities, right? Now, because it was a mental institution and we don't really have those anymore for people that have mental delays, a lot of the people there were old, right? A lot of people have been there their whole life. They were 70, 80 years old. So I'm used to dealing with, it's a lot to deal with an elderly person who's not really right in their mind, incontinence and all that. It's one thing to get paid though and then go home after 8 hours. But to be pregnant, third trimester pregnant, dealing with, and he was wrong for, I know he had to work, like I get it. Somebody has to work. But he was wrong as hell for leaving her there with his crazy stepmom who he didn't even like at all anyway. He was acting real crappy. He didn't even want her to come there at first, right? He was wrong for leaving Belinda there with her and a newborn baby, so she's having to change 2 diapers, a baby diaper and an adult diaper, and you have the nerve to get mad at her when she's saying, I can't do this by myself. I'm not surprised she killed the lady, because the lady, look, I want to say this. I am not in any way, shape, or form advocating for murder. I'm just, this is the movie. I know how y'all like to get on the internet with stuff. Just talking about the movie. I don't blame her for taking her out in the movie. She probably went kind of crazy. Like, I would think, not sure if she had postpartum, but I would think after having a child and then having to deal with this woman who she had the certificate for Daughter of the Confederacy, right? We all know what that's about. Elderly white woman from the South. This may be stereotyping, but she most likely probably has some prejudiced views, right? Well, we learned that from the Confederate Daughters of Confederacy thing. But her, first of all, her voice, as soon as she started talking, I was like, oh my God. This is going to be a wild ride, because her voice was just taking me out there as it is. I don't know if that's her real voice. Maybe it was just for the movie, but I was like, wow, okay. And here's another thing. The man, he looks like, okay, Brandy in real life is like early 40s. I think she's like, when was she born? 78, 79. So mid 40s, right? This guy looked like he's late 30 tops. This woman, his stepmom, looked like she was pushing 90. Like, how old was your damn stepmom when you were a little boy? Like, damn, like, that, she looks more like a step grandma more so than a stepmom. But listen, other than laughing and then getting grossed out at some parts, like they were showing the toilet flushing, like I don't know why y'all feel like we need to see pee and boo-boo in the toilet, pee and boo-boo in a bed. We understand people pee and boo-boo in real life. We didn't have to see that. Other than getting sick off of that. And then, so something in this movie I didn't quite get though is, did she have some kind of witch powers going on, some kind of magical something? Because the baby would not stop crying unless it had the step grandmama's cross with the fish, you know, the Christian symbol with the cross in it. If that was hanging over her, she would stop crying and she would cry without it. So I'm wondering, like, did she do a spell on her? We never quite got to that part. It's like you watch this movie and it's really just this crazy old woman giving people a hard time because she feels like she can. I mean, that's what I took from it. She was faking being hurt. She was trying to push Belinda out of, I guess, the family, biting the baby and blaming it on Belinda. Like, I guess that could be considered horror, but I honestly thought this movie, before I saw it, I thought it was going to be more like some sinister supernatural stuff going on. I guess we got a little bit of it, but I was expecting more. I was expecting more. Like I said, I laughed most of the time because she had me cracking up. The way she was talking and when Belinda called her a racist, she was at the table hiding food, and I'm like, this A24 film production company, if you are watching this, what was this supposed to be? That's all I want to know. Because if it was labeled under, even comedies have subgenres, right? I don't even know if it could be called a horror comedy because it wasn't really scary. It was more mysterious. Like maybe a mystery comedy? Mystery / thriller comedy probably would have worked, but to put it under the title of horror, I would have to disagree on that. Okay? So anyway, this was in theaters, but if you want to see it, it's on Max now. So check it out. The Front Room, starring Brandy and this crazy old lady that gives everybody a hard time. All right, let me know in the comments what you think about this movie. Shout out to my 101 subscribers. Shout out to the rest of you as well who are not subscribed, but you know you can by hitting that button for me. All right, peace and blessings to you all. Until next time.